everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, and it's time for our next Saturday with Stacy YouTube class number 342, and this is the next collection of Simply Defined. Yes, the next collection of Simply Defined is here, and I have 3 new Kaleidoscope dies for you. Not that they're really kaleidoscope dies, they're named after my mom. See the kaleidoscopes? Kaleidoscopes are up there. See them? And they're over here, they're a little bit of everywhere. And several of them were gifts from you. A lot of you have sent me lovely kaleidoscopes. There's a whole story behind the kaleidoscopes, but we're not going there today. So, Kaleidoscope dies by Simply Defined. These are A2 size layering dies, and at a price point that is amazing. I promise you, any of you who know what an A2 size die costs, and in my collection, in each set, you get 4 of them. They are amazing. And this time I did some added little elements so that you can mix and match in between the 3 different sets. So if you happen to end up with 2 sets, you can interchange quite a bit. And if you end up with 3 sets, well, you can just interchange till your little heart's content. So I have a new collection of Simply Defined, and we will talk about that soon. But first I want to tell you, I am here. I am here. For those of you who follow me on Facebook, you know I have been teaching my 2 boys how to drive. I have 2 sons, James and Michael. One is 17, going to be 18, and James, that's Michael, and James just turned 19. Yes, they're a little bit older, but it seems kids these days don't really want to drive. Anyway, they've gone out on 2 driving lessons, and oh my, I now have a new appreciation for what all of you have gone through who have taught your children how to drive. Yes, oh my. So I am here, safe and well. My car is A-okay, and most importantly, my children are still here to tell about their 2 driving lessons. Oh my goodness gracious. I was telling somebody on the phone the first time we went out for our driving lessons, because right now is an optimum time. We are under safe, we're at home here. So in California, and will be probably till, I'm thinking early June. Could be wrong, but I have a feeling it's going to be early June. So just like many of you are still under safe, we're at home in the states that you're in, the roads are empty. The mall parking lot is empty. Kmart's parking lot is empty. This is the time to teach them, right? Right. So our first driving lesson was after work, because I still come into the shop every single day, and the boys come in 3 days a week. The other 2 days they're doing schoolwork. So they're here 3 days a week with me. So we went after work one day, and I had my lunchbox. Yes, I still have a lunchbox. And we were going up and down the aisles in the Kmart parking lot, and I had an apple and I was hungry. So I thought, oh, I'm going to have my apple while Michael's going up and down. And so then he stepped on the brake, and I kind of squeezed my apple a little bit. I was like, oh, this is good. The apple's good. And then I was telling somebody today, I thought, there's a few times where, you would like to say, what are you? You can't step on the brake that hard, or push, you can't do that. You got to look both ways, or otherwise, when you really should just take a moment to think and say, Michael, why did we make, why did you not stop, come to a full and complete stop? Was there a reason? Because it's the law to do that, as opposed to, dude, you're supposed to come to a stop. So I take my apple and I take a bite. Anytime I feel that I want to just blah, I take my apple and I take a bite, and then I have a moment to think, how would I like to ask Michael this question about why he didn't stop at that stop sign at the Kmart parking lot? So apples are so much more than nutritious. They are so much more than an apple a day keeps the doctor away. 3rd driving lesson is this weekend. I will be taking an apple with me, one to squeeze. It doesn't pop, so I can kind of squeeze it if I have to. And then if I need to just keep my mouth for a few minutes, I take a bite. Woohoo! So I am here, the car is fine, the kids are fine. And when I was a kid, my dad taught me how to drive when we were going up to Oregon and Washington. My brothers and sisters are much older than me. I have nothing to do with them. I haven't seen my brother and I can't tell you how many years, or my sister Stephanie. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But my dad and I would go visit his family up in Oregon and Washington because by the time I was 8, they were all out of the house. And as the years progressed, we would always take Interstate 5. And I got older, not like 16 and driving age older, but on Highway 5, on Interstate 5, it's really just straight. And there's not a lot to look at. No. And my dad he's not one to like, let's stop for a while and take a rest. No, he's like, let's go there. Let's get there. You got to go to the bathroom. Well, open up the door and make it quick, you know? So when he would get tired, he would put me in the car and I would drive straight. But I was in an automatic. Easy peasy, no problem. Straight. Then, 30 minutes later, my dad, he would just like be resting his eyes and then he would take over again. But when it came time for me to really learn how to drive, he wanted me to drive a stick shift. He said, you're going to learn a stick shift. It's like, okay, let's do it. So I distinctly remember him saying, okay, Stacy, time for a driving lesson. And I was really excited and I'm like, okay. And I'm ready to go out to the car. And he's like, oh no, we're going to start here in the house. I'm like, what? And I'm sure I did. What? Because I was 16 and I was all full of myself. I am sure of that. And so he said, no, we're going to start right here and I need you to sit down on the floor. We were in the living room. I'm like, what do you mean sit down on the floor? He said, sit down on the floor and put your legs out. Okay. Whatever, although I would never have said that to my parents. Let's be clear. Whatever never left my mouth ever. Maybe into my pillow, but never to my parents. No. So we sat down. I sat down on the floor, legs facing out, and my dad sat down on the floor, legs facing me. So we were looking at each other, feet touching each other. And he said, okay, let's drive. And I'm like, what do you mean let's drive? And he said, well, Stacy, a stick shift requires you to move 2 feet at the same time. You don't just have a gas pedal and a brake pedal, you have a clutch that you have to worry about too. And you have to get into a rhythm of moving that clutch and that gas pedal so that you don't go and the car stops when you're shifting. And I'm like, let's just get in the car and do this. And he says, no, put your feet against mine. And we started to do this, and he would add pressure and he'd say, okay, now shift from first to second, and I would have to take my foot off the gas, put my foot on, and while I'm taking my foot off the gas, I'm taking my foot off of his foot, and when I'm pushing on the clutch, I'm pushing down on his foot, and we are facing each other doing this with me pushing on his feet. So I could learn how to drive a stick shift before he put me in the car. Because there is a rhythm to it, without question. The clutch and the gas, you have to work them in. You got to know how to work them together. Otherwise, the car just stalls. So, I didn't appreciate that my dad took me and had taught me how to drive until probably now. And I'm putting the boys in an automatic because the last stick shift car I saw was an expensive sports car. I don't even know if they make stick shifts anymore. And my dad, he had this old pickup truck, a Toyota. It had no air conditioning, no power, anything. It was as bare bones of a pickup truck you can get. But it was $6,900. That's when you could get a car for $6,900, and he drove that thing forever. So I learned from my dad to do this, and taking my boys just brings those memories right back up of my dad saying, sit down, and me being my little snotty 16-year-old self, let's just get in the car. I can do this. I know I can do this. Sit down. And then him taking the time to literally put his feet up against mine, and he made me shift. Okay, now shift into 4th gear, and I'd have to pretend I was shifting, and my foot would come off of his foot, and then I would press down on the other one to make the clutch go. It was just It just brought up that memory. So I am teaching my kids. I don't know how my parents did it, but we will get through this. Now, about today's YouTube class, Holy Smokes Artichokes. This YouTube started out as one thing and has become something completely and totally different. It's about Simply Defined and about the Kaleidoscope dies without any question. But then there is so much more. I had this idea and the idea worked. Well, it took me a little time to make it work, but the idea worked. And then it was getting everybody on board with me because my brain, I'm like you, I am a crafter. I'm a technique junkie is what I am. And so I am you. And when a manufacturer comes to see me, they really don't even want to sell me anything. It's not the same type of meeting that they go when they see other people. They come here, most of them, the smart ones come here and put all the things they have on their on my table and say, okay, Stacy, what would you like to start with? And they let me play. Marabu Michael, I think, would spend a week here with me if I'd let him and just let me play with all the Marabu product, because I think of things differently than the way they think of their product. And I'm sure you think of things differently than the way I think of things. But as a retail store owner, I'm not a buyer. Most sales meetings, you say, okay, well, what are your top SKUs and what's your best-selling items? And okay, I'll take 10 of those. Or how much linear? You only get 2 linear feet in my store. Put a planogram in of your best-selling items. What fun is that? That's not, no, that's not the way we buy here. The way we buy here is let me play and let me see what I can do with your product, because what might be your best 10 selling SKUs, wait till I show you what this 13th best does, or one that you were ready to discontinue. It's like, still discontinue it, but I'll take it all, because wait till you see what I'm gonna do with it. So today, that's kind of what it is. It was supposed to be about my dies, which are limited, which are value priced, and I think you're going to love them, but it's also about utilizing product from Sizzix, the Opulent paper. You all have seen the gold, the silver, the rose gold, and the charcoal. I have the ivory for you today, and I was not sold on it until I started to play with it, because it's like, ivory, what do you do with this? It's white. But then I took it out and I started to play with it, and my mind started to go crazy. So the Opulent paper, the ivory Opulent paper, is at regular price because it's perfect, it's lovely. There's absolutely no little scuffs or scratches. I mean, you're gonna find little scuffs and scratches everywhere, on any kind of paper, but this passed quality control through flying colors. But I had to play with it to see what to do with it. And then I had to get Marabu Michael involved because I needed his alcohol inks. And then Couture Creations, poor Aussie Andrew had to next day air from Australia a product because it wasn't ready yet, but I wanted it for this YouTube. So it's all come together to just make a woohoo ka-choo. And it's so now not just about Simply Defined. It's about embracing these other manufacturers and the products that they have and how they work so well together, and how you may not have thought to do this. Because when I talked to Sizzix, when I talked to Big Shot David and Sarah and Kim and Stacy over at Ellison, I said, give me the, unique USPs, they call them. They talk in USPs, unique selling points of a product. And they listed all of these things about this paper. It's white, it's beautiful, it has glitter, there's a finish on it, it's great for card making, it die cuts fabulously, it embosses beautifully. But in their page-long list of the unique selling points of this paper, nothing of what I'm doing with it. Hi, Mr. Big Shot, how you doing? Hey, Sarah, hey, Stacy. And then Aussie Andrew got me the product that's going to help make that work, as did Marabu Michael. So, are you ready? We're going to get going today. But first things first, winner, winner, chicken dinner, wahoo, ka-choo. We're just going to do $25 gift cards, and that's how we're going to handle it because it's just easier. So claim your prize and we'll put a $25 gift card in for you. Our first winner, oh, I know this name. Our first winner chicken dinner from YouTube 341 is, and that was the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of the Spellbinders kits. Weren't those great kits? Mark LaFleur. Hello, Mark LaFleur. How are you doing today? You're a winner chicken dinner, Mark. Happy day for you. Wahoo kachoo. And our second winner is Kathleen Suckus. Kathleen Suckus. Is that right, Kathleen? Don't be mad if it's wrong, because it really doesn't matter. You're a winner chicken dinner. Are we ready? You're a winner chicken dinner. You're a winner chicken dinner. Wahoo kachoo for you. All right. Claim your prize. Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. We will drop $25 into your online account. If you do not have an online account, you will need to create one so we can put $25 in for you. All right, you guys, I'm going to get going for today. I'm going to tilt down. I'm going to show you some of the samples since I don't have a free in-store make and take going on while we're closed. We're closed. We're closed. Really, we're closed. It's one order at a time. So one order at a time. All right, let's tilt on down and let's see what I've got for you today. Ready? Bye. Okay, and let me zoom on in. Okay, so here is Claire's, I think this is Claire, using just a few pieces of one of the Kaleidoscope dies. One of the few pieces of the Kaleidoscope dies. And then here's another, and I think this is Belinda. And this is another one of the Kaleidoscope dies. So a Kaleidoscope die has 4 A2 size dies. A2 size dies. 4 of them. And this time I added a few little extra elements that are interchangeable. And the last one, I believe, is Doris. How pretty is that? This is Doris. Let's see if I can kind of get that up a little closer. Beautiful, right? And let me get Belinda's up just a little closer, just so you can see the detail. And Claire's. So I've got oodles of samples to show you. But let's start with what a Kaleidoscope die is. Put those in there. What's a Kaleidoscope die? All right. First off, it's a big die. Well, there's 4 dies. So this is going to go through your Cuttlebug machine, your Big Shot machine, your Big Kick machine, your Vagabond machine, your Plus machine, your Pro machine, your Platinum machine, your what machine you got. Chances are these dies are going to go through them because they are truly an A2 size die. And you get 4 distinct different dies for a whopping $29.99. I know, that's a uber great price. It really is a good price. I know some manufacturers who will sell 1 die in an A2 size, like the background. They'll sell that between $20 and $30. So here you're getting 4 dies that can be used on their own or together, plus added elements. And I have got 3 of them. So we've got the butterfly, which is garden butterfly. And then I have got the dragonfly. Different backgrounds. No 2 dies are the same. So you get 4, and then the dragonfly element. And then last but not least is my birds. And I love the branches. I do. I love the layering on the branches. I love them. And then the birds, you get two separate birds, and the birds layer, the branches are layering, the butterflies layer, the dragonflies layer. I really tried to give you a lot in these kits for the $29.99 each. Now, I'm gonna pull these over. I'm gonna start with this one right here, which is the butterfly one. And I've got 4 dies. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 dies. The first one is the background die. Let's see if I can get a piece of paper. First one is the background die. It's the bottom layer. And it leaves the most solid pieces out of all of the dies. So if I cut that one, it's going to cut like this. And that's what you're going to get out of it. Kind of a silhouette type of looking die cut out of layer number, what I call layer number 3, because it's the bottom layer. Then you have layer number 2. Oh, you can see I've got yellow still in it. Layer number 2 starts to add a little bit of the detail. Starts to add a little bit of the detail. So if I were to cut layer number 2, this is what I would get. So now you're getting the same flowers, but with a little bit more detail to them, a little bit more open space. And if I laid my number 1 or my 3 die down, my number 3, and put my number 2 die over the top, they would line up perfectly and give me a layered element. But I still have die number 1, which is the most detailed die. It gives you the thinnest lines for the outline of everything. And if I cut this, this is what I would get. Look at how detailed that is, which means you could use this die just on its own, all by itself. It's a beautiful die, just like you could use die number 2 all on its own. Or I could put die number 1 on top of die number 2, line them up, and start to add dimension. But let's not forget, I started with die number 3, the bottom one. I could put all 3 of them together and line them up for a complete look. No, I need to glue them on down to each other, but that's okay. You will get the gist. So if I line them all up, then you get a complete look. But I could take die number 1 and put it on top of die number 3 if I wanted. What if I just wanted that look? That's the beautiful thing about these 3 dies, is that you can use them all on their own. Die number 3, die number 2, die number 1, or you can start mixing them, die number 3 with die number 2. Maybe that's the look you're going for. Gosh, I had them nicely lined. Maybe that's the look you're going for. Or maybe die number 3 with die number 1. Maybe that's the look you're going for. Or maybe die number, are you getting the gist? Die number 2 with die number 3. And you don't use the base die at all. But we still have one more die that it comes with, and that is a background die. All of the sets come with a background die, and no two dies are the same. You can use that die surely just on its own as a background, or you can start layering your other dies on top of them. Background die, die number 3, die number 1. The point is, you have options. With one set, you can make an amazing amount of different combinations. Maybe I don't do the back, or maybe I don't do die number 1. Maybe I just want die number 2 and 3 on that background. What is it that's going to make your heart happy? Maybe I do want everything to layer together. Maybe I want the whole shebang. You can do that. That's what makes these dies so amazing, is that while they are individual dies and can be used individually, they also are meant to layer on top of each other. And then this time I added elements. This time I added to this one, I added butterflies. So now you get layering butterflies. Your base die, your most solid die, your next die, and then your detail die. Each butterfly has 3 different dies, just like here, 1, 2, 3, so that you can layer them on top. And the way I made the sets, okay, so let's take this set and put this one away for right now. And let's bring out the leaves. Or let's bring out the branches. Oh no, I don't know, do the leaves. So here, same thing, I have die number 3, which is going to give you the most solid pieces, almost like a silhouette. And then die number 2, which is going to layer on top of die number 3. And then die number 1, which is going to give you that detail, all the outlines to everything, so that it finalizes, it completes it all out. But do you see the space I left? With this set, you get the dragonfly, 3 different elements. But what if you had the other set, the butterfly set? Could you use the butterflies? Sure you could. Butterflies are going to fit right into this set without any problem. Or if I brought back and there's the background for this one. Oh, it's gorgeous. Wait till you see it. Oh my gosh. If I brought back the set that I was originally working with, could I then take my dragonfly and put a dragonfly somewhere in here? You bet I can. All of the single elements, the little dragonflies, the butterflies, and I have birdies, they all are meant to interchange between the sets, as are the backgrounds. So you could have taken this background here that goes with the dragonfly set and used it here. Up to you. You have options. Lots of options. Okay. So let's just take one really quickly and let me cut one for you so you can see. I've got layer 1, layer 2, and let me cut another layer 3 just so you can see how it's done. Layer 1, 2, here is layer 3. Oh, no, there's layer 3. So let's find layer 1. Okay, layer 1. That's going to cut this piece right here. This really fine and detailed and delicate piece. Right here. So let's cut that super fast. And I'm going to cut that out of a really bright color. That's not big enough. That way there is a dramatic difference. So I'm just using cardstock, nothing special about it at all. I'm going to finish popping those guys out. Thought I saw, oh, I saw a few more that I didn't pop out earlier. Pop those guys out. Okay, so I'm going to take my Sizzix Big Shot machine. I'm going to slide it on over in hopes that my stabilizer and my camera doesn't go bzzz. You'll hear it if it does. I definitely must have a precision base plate. My dies, my Simply Defined dies require a precision base plate. My dies are intricate. I mean, they're really intricate. They're really intricate. The background for this, super detailed. So if you do not have a precision base plate from Sizzix to go with your Big Shot machine, not your Big Shot Plus, but your Big Shot machine, you need one because you will not be able to cut my die successfully without it. You are going to get a little frustrated. So the first thing I do is I have my multi-purpose platform, whether it be big or small, it doesn't make a difference. The long one, the extended one, this one, I keep it completely closed, no tabs open, and I put on my precision base plate. And it doesn't matter if you have the first version, the second version, or the third version. They're all going to be fine. The third version is the chrome version. Can you see it's kind of shiny? That's just because people didn't like the first or the second version because it kind of cut into the metal. It didn't hurt it at all, really it didn't. But if you want a chrome one, you can have one and we'll put it on a YouTube Yummy, I will. Just know that if you have the first one or two, you're going to be fine. Now the thing with the precision base plate is the directions are on one side. The metal is on the other. If you put it down on your Sizzix Big Shot machine and you can read the directions, stop! Stop! Wait! You're doing it wrong. You need to be able to see the metal, whether that is black metal, black coated metal, or the chrome. Makes no difference. If you can read the directions, you're doing it wrong. Stop, reverse, turn it over, and then you're good. Then we're going to put our paper down. And I'm going to put it at a slight angle. Not straight, but a slight angle. Because the die I'm using is straight. It's got straight edges. And when that die goes through the machine, if you keep it at a straight edge so that this edge is parallel to the roller inside your machine, you very well may hear a ka-thunk. It hasn't hurt your machine and it hasn't hurt your die, but the roller is trying to get that whole straight edge at one time and it doesn't sound very pretty. Let me see if I can make it happen for you so you can hear what I'm talking about. Okay, so clear plate on top, and okay. All right, well that was good. That clearly told you what it could sound like. And then wait. Okay, not the most beautiful sound in the world, right? But if I had taken it and instead of putting it straight, people will literally stop mid-cut and call me at the store. Oh my gosh. It's like, no. Cracks and creaks are okay. Don't worry. What's not okay is if you can't physically push it through. If the machine says, whoa, if it's too thick, if it won't let you move it through, stop. The creaks and cracks are okay. But had I taken this and just did a slight rotate so that the die feeds from here down and not try to hit this whole line that's parallel to the wheel underneath, the roller underneath. If I had done that, you don't get the same creaks and cracks. Only has to be at a slight angle. Oh, so much better. see, that's a whole lot better. Wasn't that a whole lot better? And then I'm gonna do a quick rotate. I probably don't need to do it, but just because I want the roller to hit the die in a new and unique way. If going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with the die in the same position and it's not cutting, it's not gonna change. You have to move the die so it hits the sweet spot in your roller a little differently. So you always wanna rotate your die at the end if you're working with an intricate cut die. Boy, I'm off somewhere. There we go. See, it sounds a little better, right? A little better? Okay, let's see what I have. Let's pull it out. And look at how nicely that so delicate die came out. Let me get rid of all of this. Before Mr. SMS comes back to work, we are definitely going to have to clean his room. I'm allowed to be in here a little bit every time I YouTube, or if I'm coming up for a visit when he's working. Otherwise, this is really his domain. Okay, so let me pop all these pieces out. Well, I don't need to pop them all out. But then that gives me the 3 that I wanted. And now you're saying, okay, Stacy, how am I going to get those all lined up? Yep, I know. So that I had the same problem. For years we've had the same problem, which is why I went looking for an adhesive that would allow me to do this. And I found it when I was overseas. These are sticky dots, layered on both sides. So you can't until you expose the sticky. You can't worry, you don't have to worry about getting it all over you. The hardest part of sticky dots is getting it started. There we go. So on one side is just a liner, just paper. On the other side is stick. Hundreds of thousands of micro dots on here. Hundreds and thousands of micro dots. Now, you don't ever want to take your entire liner off and throw it away. No, you don't want to do that. Why? Because, let me get these out so I'm sure I've got them in the right direction. Yes, because I'm going to take my die number 2 and I'm going to put it right here. Then I'm going to close this up and I'm going to give a burnish. Now, everybody who already owns these from me, they have all sent emails. Lots of you have sent emails saying that these are the best things since sliced bread because they don't give you goobers. Better than the Xyron. I can't thank you all enough. You guys have been wonderful about letting me know because I had to ask. I bought them without really testing them with the SMS girls because I saw them, I got them when I was overseas. Now I'm going to lift it up. And everywhere my die is, the sticky has stuck to it. There we go. Now, where there was a hole, see, there's no die, there's no paper here. There's still thousands and thousands of sticky dots right there. Anywhere where there was not a piece of paper, those sticky dots still remain, which is why you never get rid of the liner. Then I can bring over my base die, my die number 3, and I can, gosh, I still didn't get all the doodads out of this thing. I can start to line it up. And the beautiful thing is you have time. You have time to put it down and pull it up and move it and layer it. You have time. They will eventually go permanent to where you can't pull it off. But for now, you have time, and just like that, bam, right? Woohoo, ka-choo. Layer done. Finished, good to go. No problem. No glue, no fuss, no muss, no mess. Then I've got this one to do. So let's open it back up. And let's put this one back down. There we go. Close it up. Give a good burnish. And now when I burnish, I'm just rubbing. I'm not like rubbing so hard. But I'm not like gently doing it either. I'm giving a nice little massage. Pull up. Let's bring it over. And let's layer it down. So I'm using contradictory colors so that you are able to see what I've done. These may not necessarily be the colors of your choice, but I think that it helps you see what I was able to do. Get on there. So again, in a matter of just minutes, I'm able to glue them all three together. No fuss, no muss, no goobers, nothing. And then I could take this entire one and put this down so that then I'm able to glue it here. But wait, what if I cut two of these and slightly shadowed them off each other? Let's see if I can put it. What if I slightly shadowed them off each other, giving you just this beautiful three-dimensional element to it? I love taking the backgrounds because they are so detailed, and you almost get, can you see that? You almost get like a dimensional look to it as you're moving your shadow, and you pick the shadow that you want and then take it, put it right on top, and you've added just another layer of texture and development and creativity to what you were doing. Beautiful, easy, out of paper. Sticky dots. Oh, let's see, where did I put them? Here they are. These are my Simply Defined, Simply Sticky Micro Dots. You get 10 sheets. 10 sheets. 10 sheets for $9.99. And again, that is a smoking hot price. Love them. But then, where does the Sizzix stuff come in, Stacy? Where does the Marabu stuff come in? Okay, we're getting there, but I needed to start at the very beginning so people could see what can be done. What if we took this and put this on and did that? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, is that not amazing? It's like awesome. I love them, and you can do them with the backgrounds. Oh, makes my heart happy, happy, happy. And then put that on there and finish it off. Oh my gosh. Nobody needs to know this was done out of paper. Don't tell them. It looks amazing. Okay, but I digress. Let's get to what I needed to get to you about. Okay, so we did the Sizzix paper. I just want to play, but I can't. We did the Sizzix paper and the charcoal and the rose gold, in the gold, and in the silver. But there's 5 actual sets. The last set is what they call the ivory. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I was not woo-hoo ka-choo about this paper. And thankfully, it was the one that came in with absolutely no little issues at all. I mean, every paper is going to have their own little dents or pits or scratches. But this came in and passed quality control without any problem. So, when I couldn't offer it to you at that, oh my gosh, price, I wasn't heartbroken. Because I'm like, it's white. Now, they do give you the 5 different whites. You know what? I'm going to put that one back and grab this one. They do give you 5 different specialty papers. It is like the others, where you have a sheet of glitter. You have this, what they call this soft touch, and it does. It feels like suede. It's amazing. You have the brushed, which kind of has this metally feel to it. You've got the pearl, which is what I did. Did I do the, yes, I did. This cut here is out of the pearl. So it's got that satiny finish to it. And you can kind of see that satiny finish. And then you've got a high gloss. Can you see that high gloss? So you do have 5 different types of paper, specialty papers. You get 10 sheets each. So there's 50 sheets total. And the price, even at full price, was a great price. It was $19.99. Oh, don't worry, we'll have it on a YouTube Yummy for you. But so this is kind of that satiny. This is what they're calling a pearl. Pretty. Here's the high gloss. Here's the brushed metal, and you can hear it. Oh, I know everybody just went, "Eee!" Nails on a chalkboard, but you can hear it. This I can't really do anything except to tell you it feels like suede. And last but not least, the glitter. So I came up and I played with them. And I really focused in on these 2, the gloss and the glitter. I am going to play with some of these in next week's YouTube. But for today, I'm going to play with the gloss and the glitter, because there's stuff you can do with this. This is where Marabu comes in. I wanted to ink this. I wanted to ink this so badly, and I don't think I have any inks in here to play with. I should have brought some inks over for myself. Nope, I don't. Okay, none? Really, Stacy, none? Nope, I really don't. So I wanted to play with this and ink this, but I tried dye-based inks or water-based inks. So Memento and Tombow, and I can't do it. I have to have something. Give me 2 seconds. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. Okay, I'm back. So a Tombow, a Memento. I tried a whole bunch of aqua inks, and I wanted to color it, and it does color. It does. It colors. The only problem is it will also wipe off. And it doesn't blend. So when I took this and I tried to put some color down, you can hear how rough it is, right? And then I wanted to put this color down. And because these are a water-based ink, the Tombow dual brush, I thought, okay, I'll be able to take my baby wipe and move it. But ultimately, all I did was make a big mess, and look at how it eats. Can you hear how it's eating up that baby wipe? Same thing happened with Memento, same thing happened with aqua ink, same thing happened with, I thought, okay, let's try creamy Marabu crayons. No go. So then I thought, well, what if I played with alcohol inks on this? Right? So I grabbed some, and this is like gold right now, some isopropyl alcohol, which you can use as blending solution on this. It doesn't eat the glitter. and you're still on a paper back. Amazing. So I took and I wanted to put a little bit of that down and bring out my Marabu alcohol inks. Love their alcohol inks. Love their alcohol inks. Marabu is a fine art manufacturer, and they brought out alcohol inks that are the level of fine art. Now, you don't have to be a fine artist to use them. That's the whole point. Actually, if you're not a fine artist, that's when you want to use fine art product, because you get the best results using the best product. If you are baking and you have an opportunity to use the finest chocolate versus stuff that isn't even chocolate, of course your finished product, your cookie or your brownies, is going to be richer and taste better and yummy. Or if you're making pasta and you're using and you're making a sauce and you use the best olive oil, of course it's going to be better than just a basic yucky olive oil that maybe you got at the 99-cent store. When you have better product to start with, your results are better. They just are, because they're easier to work with, and they give you that little oomph that you needed. So Marabu is just that. They're a fine art manufacturer out of Germany that makes yummy product. And then this is where Aussie Andrew came in. So we had we had his little brush that has the hundreds of thousands of bristles on it, that a blending brush. Wahoo Kachoo, super cute, right? Used that when I think I did this card, is when I think I used it. But now he's come out with this one for your alcohol inks. Little heart shape on there, so cute, right? So I had to have this. He air freighted it from Australia. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to know. I'm not even going to ask him how much that cost, but I appreciate you, Aussie Andrew. Thank you. And thank you, Marabu Michael, for making sure that you had inventory of the inks. Now, their inks are $3.99 for your basic colors and $4.99 for a couple of the metallics and the special sauce, the rainbow. But I'm not going to use rainbow today. I'm just going to use the basic $3.99, and then I think we put them on sale for like 30% off. So I can take a little bit of my alcohol ink, and I can put a little bit of my, and I can put it on here if I want, or I can dump a little bit if I want. I know you're like, are you crazy? That's a lot. No, don't worry. It's not going to go through. And then I can play. Oh. And it inked up beautifully. Look at, and it doesn't eat the glitter. And it doesn't matter. It's on felt, so it's not going to eat the felt. And I can blend and I can move it, and I have opportunity, and I can add more, and I can drop more, and I can lighten the color if I add more alcohol. And it just sparkles, and it does not eat the Sizzix paper. Go figure. Right? I could add a little bit more blending solution if I wanted to. And really blend it out. I could drop more. And blend that in. Who would have thought you could take a basic glitter paper? And mind you, I don't know that everybody else's glitter paper will do this. It has to do with the adhesive that Ellison used, Sizzix used, the glitter that they used, and the paper that they, hello, do you see that it did not go through? Right? Amazing. So what if I then what if I did some over here? Ooh, let's do this one. Do this one. So what if I did some over here and threw a little bit of Ooh, look at it run. That color is gorgeous. And what if I wanted to throw some green in? So, and I haven't changed my pad. Probably should, but I haven't. We're just going for it. Oh, I made it really soupy. I don't know, is this the green I used? And you can just play and play. All right, I'll change my pad. Play and play and play. Until your little heart is happy. I can even put my ink right onto my little pad and go in and daub it that way. Okay, what happens if I add some pink? Let's add a little more. Put some down. Woo! Throw some down. Ooh, it's so exciting. Look at it, just so exciting. Ooh, look at it run. Oh my gosh, I love it. Look at it run into it. Oh my gosh, that just makes my heart happy. Again, nothing to do with my dyes at all, but look at that color. Look at it run. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And the glitter still comes through. Glitter still comes through. Oh, put a little more in here. So you get 10 sheets of the glitter paper. 10 sheets of glitter paper that if you don't do a lot of glitter, no worries. Let's alcohol ink it. And just let it run. Forget about the Yupo. Oh, let's play with this. And my two colors making a third color. I like to use the alcohol. I love how it makes it run. What do you think? And it still keeps the glitter. You don't lose the glitter. And, oh, I don't know what I got there. Well, now I made a trail of it. And it doesn't go through your paper. Beautiful, right? So then you're thinking, okay, well now what to do with it, Stacy? Well, it's wet. I probably shouldn't have not played as much as I did. But we'll play anyway. We'll go for it. Now what to do? Okay, so now we can die cut. Love the little heart. Now you don't need one of these for every color. You're going to change your pads, and you can keep your pads, but I'll tell you, he sells the replacement pads. You get like 50 pads for $5. 50 heart pads. And I want to say that this is $12, and it comes with, does it come with 10 pads? And you really only need one or two. That's all you need. Sorry, Aussie Andrew, but thank you for shipping them. It's these that you need. So, oh my gosh, I just love it. It just makes my heart so happy. Oh, I don't know. Do I want to add just a little bit more blue? I really should just do something with this, right? Time is a wasting, Stacy. Yeah, you got to do something with this. But I just cannot help myself. It just screams you want to just continue. And the glitter comes through. You don't lose the glitter. Now, it's not BAM glitter, because really it's not that iridescent to begin with, but it still has that sparkle and that shine coming through. So if you are not a big glitter person, this is a great way to use this paper. But okay, let's die cut. I need to put some lids on, otherwise it's going to get all over me. I will be honest with you folks, I had on a lovely blouse today, one that Mr. SMS really likes. It's a cute little t-shirt, and I had a cute little sweater on with it. I changed into an SMS t-shirt. I did not want to get it all over my lovely little blouse. Do they still use the word blouse? Okay, so what can we do? Let's die cut. Let's play with the... Ooh. What if we die cut the bird? Oh. You know what? That's like a perfect place. I'm going to snap that one off. Oh, I hope I don't make a mistake doing that. Okay, so let me cut from here. So I'm going to save this. This is still a little wet, but that's okay. I'm going to save that, and I'm going to cut the bird from here. Because I want to get the head with the white. I'm going to do it this way. I'm trying to be economical when I really shouldn't be. I should just do it, right? Just go. Just do it. Just go. All right. No, I was right the first time. You're like, get over it, Daisy. Well, I'm telling you, I struggle just like you guys do sometimes. Okay. Oh, that took forever, right? It shouldn't have taken forever. So there's one. And let's bring it over. And let's just die cut this one out. So this is going to cut the background piece of the bird. And then I don't even know if I'm going to cut all the layers. So there's the outline of the bird. Ooh, right? Now, I'm not even going to cut the second layer. I'm just going to grab a piece of black. And I'm going to cut the detail layer. So I don't want to lose that one. I'm going to bring over my Big Shot machine and cut my detail layer. $10 sheets of the glitter. You get 50 sheets in that pack, and we're going to do it at $19.99. I think we have it at less 30% is what we did. And that would complete your collection of the Sizzix Opulent paper. Ooh. Now, mind you, there's a middle cut I didn't even do. There's a middle cut that I chose not to do. What if Okay, what if we took the black paper and cut the body, and we took some of the gold or the silver, the blue, the green in the glitter, and cut the middle piece. And let's cut them both at the same time because we can. Bring my machine back over. Remember, precision base plate, super important. Multi-purpose platform, precision base plate facing you, paper, die, cut plate, and send it through. Now this one I might run front and back just because the die that's got the alcohol ink and glitter paper is a little more intricate than that open frame die. This one's an open frame die, even though you see the detail. Why do you see that detail? Because you can emboss with this with a squishy and a knock and do all that detail too. Don't worry, I'll show you that in the samples. I didn't take him all the way to the end. I stopped before he was done. All right, let's just slide him on over and cut him one more time. I didn't go all the way to the end of my roll. I stopped too soon, so I need to get him all the way to the end. There we go. There we go. Okay, now what do I do with my other die? No. Oh, there. You put it to the side, Stacy. I heard you. Thank you. And then what if I wanted to what if we took some of that white glossy, even though that's not what we're going to use it for, but what if I took a little bit of that white glossy? And cut out the detail, the real fine line of that. Put my dies away so I know what I did with them. So we've got this one and that one, and let's cut the detail die out of white. So this would be layer number 1, the top layer. And let's see what I got. So this is going to give me my most detailed piece with the most amount of little bits that fall out. So now I've got a background, and on that background I could put the most detailed piece in white, or when we originally did it, I did it in black. But then I did the background in black, and I did the center in the glitter, and then I could put the white on top as the most detailed piece. Having just a little bit of that color come through. You have options. And the bird, you get 2 birds. You get a big one and a small one. You have such options with this. You do, you do. They're so pretty. And it's using glitter paper. Look at it, it's dry. It's alcohol ink, so it dries really, really, really quickly. And what if I took super fast? What if I took background? And I brought that over. Now remember, you want to do it kind of at an angle so it doesn't have that that ka-thump that we heard before. Kind of at an angle. And I'm going to go forward. And on this, I'm going to go forward. Because now I'm asking it to go through glitter paper too. And backwards. And you're saying, but you didn't rotate. I know, I'm gonna do it now. Your machine may not require that. My machine gets used like crazy, and the older your machine, well, the more used your machine is, the looser it gets, and the more you may have to run through once or twice. And backwards. All done with alcohol ink. Oh, who's calling me? And glitter paper that you may, see, I don't know that it cut all the way through. I'm gonna go one more time and rotate it one more time. I think I'm gonna chop off some of this end. And let's try, I wanna do it like this, but I just don't know if my paper's gonna let me. Let's see what we get. Ooh, do you hear that? That's good. That means it's cutting. Ooh, but I'm gonna bend my die if I continue. All right, let's see. Ooh, yeah, see, it was on the straight edge. Little ka-thumps. Oh yeah, look at that. Can you see the cuts? I don't know if you can see the cuts. I can't tell what the camera picks up and what it doesn't. I don't have like a big computer in front of me like a lot of people do. It's just me and my, oh yeah, this makes my heart happy. And I know I need to move on, but I just couldn't help myself. If you're gonna have a troll's birthday card this year, bam! Oh my gosh, I love it. And it was done with alcohol ink on the glitter paper from Sizzix, and it didn't go through. But I told you there's more, and there is, and I know I have to move on. I know I do. I get that. Okay. But I want to get all those pieces out of there, but I won't. I promise. Shiny. Hello, glossy paper. What do we normally use for alcohol ink? Glossy paper. I'm gonna throw some of my alcohol down just because I really like it. Because I like everything to move. I don't know what color this is. Ooh. Ooh. Don't know what I'm going to blend that with. Because all I've got are pinks and blues. But okay, we'll blend it with some pink. Ooh, and let it run. Got expensive alcohol ink paper. Guess what? Oh, well, I'm not going to clean this. Well, maybe I should. So that's going to, oh yeah, see, it's picking up the color from what I already had on here. So do I want to blend, 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 blend? Or, and it will soften out all those little bumps and stuff as it's drying will soften out. Or do I want to let it run, 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 run? It's so cool. Let me get it in. It'd be helpful if I was in the camera, but I get so enamored with it that my heart just goes, ooh. Gosh, I could let it run, and lighten and lighten and lighten. And as it's running, it's turning purple. And I could drop some more in there. And run. And if I really wanted to, I could come in and kind of bounce. It just depends upon what you want. I could add more alcohol to my heart and then go in and bounce. And you're like, oh, Stacy, that looks like a hot mess. Oh, but it doesn't. Just wait. And it's going to dry super fast because it's alcohol based. And I could let it run a little bit more while it's still wet. And just kind of turn it and let it do its thing. And then when it's all dry, I can die cut. And again, bam. Look at how it's softened out. Look at how you thought it was going to end up having little spouncy marks, but oh, no. Beautiful, right? So how much have you been paying for your alcohol ink paper? Hello? So you get the glitter. So 10 sheets of the glitter and 10 sheets of the glossy for less than what most people pay for their alcohol ink paper just in general. Is that not gorgeous? I don't know what I like better. Do I like it on the glitter? Do I like it on the gloss? Oh, not dry yet. I wonder if I should take my heat tool to it. That's what happens when you get carried away with the alcohol. But the gloss still comes through. Dry it? Oh, I can see it. See, I can see it. Can you see it drying over here? See how this is already dry? And it's slowly working its way. And see, this is dry here. So pretty. Yep, not dry there. Oh, but then I bounced. What if I just did one super fast to see if I can get it to dry? Oh yeah, look at how wet this is. Stacy, shame on you. I could probably do 100 little cards with this. Let me pull another piece. Try and get some of it to dry, get something that's not too thick. Look at that. Look at how wet I've got it. I haven't added any more. This is how wet my little my little spouncer is. I'm going to be able to do this whole sheet of paper without adding any alcohol ink. Okay, shame on me. Well, I'm not wasting it at least, right? Look at that, I did the whole sheet. Oh, almost dry. This side's almost dry. And then I can die cut away. Really pretty. Soft and elegant. Oh, and see, I let this run, so it ran into each other. This one about dry? No, this one down here is. And this up here is. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're getting good up here. I wonder if I can cut some and cut something. I don't know, let's try. What's the worst that's going to happen? Put this back in its little storage hand See, and it doesn't touch the bottom, so this doesn't get dirty. It doesn't touch the bottom, which is nice. And I don't know, maybe we do the... Maybe we do the dragonfly out of this? What do you think? The dragonfly? All right, let's just do the dragonfly, and I'll cut the so I want that one, and I want the top piece, and we'll cut the top piece out of black, and we'll do them both at the same time. Yay! Happy accident. Well, it wasn't an accident. No, I don't want to say that, because I sat here and I played. I had to understand what more we could get out of that Sizzix Opulent white paper or ivory paper than what they say. I knew there had to be more. So hopefully they're happy with this, because I don't know that they knew that you could do this, but maybe they did know. You know, that's why so many companies have design teams. There's lots of people who make beautiful products. I mean, they're able to make beautiful, beautiful, beautiful samples. But I think on those design teams, they're looking for people to see the product in a different way than maybe what the manufacturer originally thought of it. You know, when you're working with a product for so long, some of these manufacturers work on these products for years before they finally come to market. You've got it in your head that they're supposed to be one way, and then somebody totally changes it on its ear. Well, I think that might be done. Something you never thought of comes right to them, and it seems so obvious to them, and things you thought of were not as obvious to them. So I think that's one of the beautiful things about our industry, is that we get to play, and there's no right and there's no wrong. You just do and see what happens. It's only paper. It really is just paper. And if your hands get a little inky, okay, your hands got a little inky. But don't wear a really nice blouse that maybe your spouse or your significant other loves. Okay, so that's the piece that I cut. Let's see if I can... That's the piece. So it's kind of a weird looking piece. And I didn't get all the bits and pieces out of this. But then put it over it. And it is so cool. And then use your sticky dots. Is this the one I opened? Oh, I don't know if this is the one I opened. It takes me longer to get my sticky dots open than anything else. Next time I think I'm going to put a little tab on it. Put this one down. Nope, wrong side. Put this one down. Give it a little burnish. Put this one down. Let's put that one down too. Give a little burnish. Put my dies away so I don't lose them. Pull up. No goobers. Super important. Line it right up. If you need to take it off, you have time. You are not locked into it. You can pull it up and reposition it and lay it back down and reposition it. You've got time. It will eventually dry to permanent. just feel the need to just sticky dot everything. My SMS girls are in love with these. In fact, SMS girl Sharon just sent her a whole bunch more. All done with alcohol ink. Now, will Tim Holtz alcohol ink work? Yes, of course it will. You don't have to have the Marabu. What alcohol ink do you own? Sure you can. Absolutely. You are not cemented into just the Marabu alcohol ink. It's beautiful. Oh, and see, now this is all dry. Love, love, love. And there's the gloss. As it dries, there's the gloss. Still got my glitter coming through it. All right. Holy smokes, artichokes. What did we do? Well, we started super easy peasy where we just die cut out of paper. That was the easiest thing we did. Look at the mess I made. Oh, but it's a happy day. We just die cut one of my dies out of paper, and I showed you how the backgrounds can be utilized. And then, depending on what you want to do, now the dragonfly does not come with this one. It comes with the other, but it'll lay right in there, no problem, easy peasy, anywhere you want. You bet it does. They're all meant to coordinate. You could even put the birdie in there if you wanted. Absolutely. Birdie fits in there too. Not a problem. They're all meant to work together. And then I showed you that you can take the backgrounds and double them to give yourself even another dimension of layering. Oh, really cool, right? Really cool. And then we moved to the, well, I don't have much of it left because I cut it all. We moved to the glitter paper, and I was playing with this earlier. Oh. Done with the alcohol inks on the glitter paper. What do you think? Right? Yay! So I did the glitter paper with the alcohol inks, die cut out the background, and then you can take your little dragonfly and put them wherever you want, or you can take your bird, and the bird comes in two sizes. He comes in large and small. You get both. Lots to do using alcohol inks, which you might already own. Simply defined Kaleidoscope dies, which you can't find anywhere else. They're only here at Scrapbooking Made Simple. I'm so sorry, but they're mine, and they're my designs, and I manufacture them. And well, to keep them at the price I keep them at, we can't give them out to anybody else. Otherwise, they're going to get really expensive. Ooh, I know. I just love this one. Well, it's got to go on the black. It looks well, but how does it look on the white? Ooh. But the store is closed, so there's no reason we won't be able to keep these samples for anything. There's no... That's the piece that I cut that other one out of. I cut that, the background. Yeah. This is the piece I cut this one out of. Really pretty. And then I cut it out of just plain white to layer over the top and add the dimension and the elements to it. Okay, I've got stuff to show you. Oh my gosh. Okay, so simply defined sticky dots. Wahoo Kachoo, truly, you will love them. I promise. I really do. I stand by what I sell. I stand by what I manufacture, and at a price that is so affordable. 10 sheets, 8 by 10. Woohoo. Okay, so we've got that. I think they're 8 by 10. We always got confused if they were 8.5 by 11 or not. The Sizzix paper. Next week, I'm going to be playing with two of the other papers in here, doing something entirely different, so you can see how you can get the most out of this pack of 50 sheets of specialty paper. If you already have white paper, okay, move on. Let's get pretty with it. Oh my gosh, let's do amazing things with this paper. Oh yeah. So, Sizzix, and I've locked it all up. I know that there's some out there in the market because I wasn't quick enough to play with it, but I do know that for the rest of the balance of it, we have purchased it all. And this will complete your set from Sizzix. Okay, then we have my 3 dies. So here's the birdies that I was playing with today. 4 dies plus 2 birds, $29.99, A2 card. Here's the dragonfly that we were playing with today. Has 3 pieces to it. Love the leaves. So pretty. And then the florals with the butterfly. They're all $29.99 each. That's the lowest price I can do. Please don't ask me if I can do a better deal. I really can't. You're getting 4 A2 size dies, $29.99. Trust me, you'll love them. Then we have Ozzy Andrew and his heart-shaped alcohol ink applicator. Super cute, right? Darling. You need maybe 2 of them at the most. And then a pack of your 50. That's gonna keep you going for a really long time. Trust me. If you have this, you're going to be alcohol inking for quite some time. Okay, then I have samples. I know I'm running late. I have samples. First thing I want to show you is what Elena did. Elena took a piece of pattern paper and then she die cut this die out of the same pattern paper and then layered them up. And it's so beautiful. It's so subtle. It's so elegant. I wanted you to see, because that's kind of like the idea of one off of each other. And you know where I got that idea? Miss Belinda. Belinda did a great job with that. Oh, see, this is where giving something to somebody else, even my product, they saw it in a way I hadn't seen it before. Super easy, beautiful. Okay, let's get to samples, because I got a whole host of them. Please remember, my dies are limited, and when they're gone, they're gone. The Kaleidoscopes tend to sell out faster than anything else. So I showed you that one already today. And I showed you this one already today. I feel like I got to get this stuff out of my way. Maybe go down just a little bit, open up a little bit more. I showed you this one already today. And I showed you here. I don't have them by the girls right now because Elena's not here to help me. So I will try to look at the back. So this is Elena. And again, she die cut with my heart die, and then she did the pattern over. So it has that very subtle, beautiful look to it. So this is Elena. And this is Elena. This is Belinda. This, I'm sure, is Elena. I think she stamped those butterflies on it afterwards. And you can see she cut the oval and then she cut the background and layered it on top. It's beautiful, Elena. It just adds this little texture touch, almost like you've embossed it. Here we have Claire. Love this, Claire. Love, love, love this. So pretty. And Claire. And this is just using one of the backgrounds that the bird comes with. She only used one of the branches. There's 4 separate branches in that die set. And here we have Sharon. Sharon is home staying well. Her and her husband. We miss you, Sharon. And this is also Sharon, but she makes such pretty things. We're so glad to still have her on the design team. Sharon kind of retired. Oh, I miss you. But I'm glad you're my friend. And Belinda. Oh, of course it is. I should have noticed the little baby, the head on the butterfly. Now, if you double the butterfly, if you cut this wing backwards, if you cut it upside down, you can make yourself a whole butterfly. Don't think it has to be half. It can be a whole butterfly. Well, by George. See? So instead of just doing half a butterfly, you can cut the wing and flip it around and you have a whole butterfly. And this one is Claire. Thank you, Claire. That was like perfect timing. How did you know? Especially since these are so out of order. And Doris. I do have a lot of samples. And Elena. She orientated the card a different way. Not that way, not that way, but she did a horizontal. And look at this. Is this not absolutely gorgeous? Doris, love it. So she used the branches and the birds. This is Doris. And I love this one too. This is Sharon. Sharon, I love this card. This card's beautiful. With the layering of the butterfly that comes with it. Oh, I love this card too. Doris, you guys rocked it. Truly you did. And then Elena. So pretty with all the layering of the branches. Elena, you were busy with the girls at home. They're up, who knows what time they're making samples. Oh, and this one's beautiful too, you guys. This is Doris. So pretty. Sharon, I love this one. I love this. I love the black on there. That looks great. The dark brown. Then we have Claire. And Belinda. Oh, gorgeous Belinda. Oh, and who fussy cut? Elena, of course you did. She just did the background. And that's not embossed. That's the background die cut on top with the same paper. She did a circle and a circle out of the... Amazing, Elena. 2 cuts. Same paper, layered on top of each other, and then she fussy cut these. Oh, so pretty, Claire. Oh, Claire, that's beautiful. Oh, and this one's so sweet, Elena. Same thing, tone on tone. Just using the background. Oh, and this is Elena too, because I know. Yes, because she likes gorgeous girls, but she just used the background die all on its own. And then we have our layout. And for this, I will maybe back it up just a little bit. Oh, that's a lot. So picture here, and Doris made a layout using our dies. Well, my dies. The butterfly, you've got background dies here, you've got them layered here. She did a beautiful job. Picture here. Really nice, Doris, beautiful. All right, and then just so you see what you get in the set. This is what comes in the butterfly set. of Natural Habitat. This is Garden Butterfly. And remember I told you that you can emboss the bottom one? Use your squishy and your knock knock, and you can emboss the detail in there. See, look at that. See the embossed detail? Just some samples. And then we have our next one with our dragonfly, everything you get with the dragonfly. All for $29.99 for A2 size dies. And then just some quick samples that Elena did. So you've got it layered here, embossed there. And then last but not least, the branches and the birds. So 1, 2, 3, 4 different branches, and they layer on top, and then 2 sizes of the bird. And then just some samples. Can you see how we embossed it with the squishy and the knock knock? That's on the die number 3, the one that gives you the least amount of detail is the one that you can emboss. All right, holy smokes. It's me, Stacy. Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. That's where you're gonna find all of this great product. You may already own alcohol inks and you don't need it. You may already own alcohol ink adapters or applicators and don't need it, although it's really cute. The little heart is just darling. You may, well, you may already own a way to put the layers together that's easy peasy for you, and you don't need the sticky dots. What I'm sure you don't have right now is the Opulent paper and my dies. So if you need and you want the 5th and final color to your Opulent paper and you love what we did today, I've got it for you. If you like the dies, 1, 2, or all 3 of them, I've got them for you, but they're limited. And then we did the alcohol inks, the Marabu alcohol inks at a dramatic discount. We've got him on sale, we've got the little refills on sale, and my micro sticky dots, which I promise you will like. I really do. They're really good. If I say so myself, but I didn't. I read all of your comments. Okay, you guys, it's me, Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. I will see you next week. Bye, everybody. And did I get my shirt dirty? And I didn't even get dirty. Woohoo!